Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Virtual Sightseer Backcountry series. This is going to be a little different than my main series. In that series, I take you along with me to tour the world using Microsoft Flight Simulator. There, I try my best to throw in some facts about wherever we are while we're flying. In this series, I'm going to be trying to do shorter bush flights with some hopefully breathtaking backdrops and scenery. I will have a starting takeoff location, but we'll let the landscape tell us where to land. Once we're on the ground, we'll set up camp and maybe even do some fishing. Alright, so we are in the Draco X bush plane. Go ahead and take our covers off here. We have a very noisy SUV there, or a little van, whatever that thing is. We do have to get our trucks. Go ahead and get those. Really wants me to examine that tire. Alright, I think we are safe to get in here. Let's go ahead and start it up. Make sure our startup sequence goes correctly. We got the start button flipping on there. Our generator button is on. Avionics are on. We are going to be in Alaska. We are on Kodiak Island. So let's go ahead and turn our pilot heat on. We'll acknowledge this here. And that there. Alright, let's go ahead and inflate our door seal. And we can jump in the EFB real quick. So like I said, no main flight plan, but I have scoped this one out a little bit. So I think what we're going to do, if you guys follow the mouse there, we're going to come down this way. Once we come over this peak, we drop down into a valley. We can follow that valley right down through here. And I think maybe we'll try and find a spot somewhere on this lake to camp out for the night. Let's jump outside real quick. Alright, everything's looking good. We'll turn our taxi markers off. Hopefully that vehicle doesn't hit us. Let's go ahead and move our flaps to takeoff. And we can start our taxi. So I think we'll take off towards the water and then we'll flip back around. So we're going to take off heading this way and we'll just loop back around. I want this series to be a little bit more relaxed. Just kind of a fun flight. Alright, let's send it. Now these bush planes take off really easily. Go and put our flaps up. And once we get our trim set up here, go and start our turn. Now the flight over to where I want to scope out is only about 6 or 7 minutes. It's not too long of a flight. I will try and get some chapter markers in there for you guys. If you want to skip ahead and just see how I set up camp. Or if you want to see landings, that kind of thing. Turn this on here. There we go. So we're going to come right along here. Now please guys, down in the comments, let me know what you think of the name of the series. I am still thinking about doing some missions, rescue, that type of stuff. Still working on a name for that, so if you have any suggestions for that, let me know as well. This plane is a lot of fun to fly. It's very agile. They can be kind of difficult to land, but it's worth it because you can pretty much put it wherever you want. So as you start to look at the landscape, you can kind of see that valley that I was talking about. You have these peaks on this side, and then you have this side here. And we're going to fly pretty much right down the middle. And that will take us to right about here. And then we'll see if we see anything that we like in terms of landing. We can jump outside the plane as well. Jump back in here. So you can see in this display as well, we're going to take this portion right here. So at the very top of this display, eventually you'll see the plane come into view, which is happening right there. Such a peaceful flight. This plane's a lot of fun to fly too. I do have a lot of ideas for this backcountry series. I've been watching a lot of other flights. Idaho seems to be pretty popular. That was news to me. I knew Alaska was pretty popular for bush flying. If you guys have anywhere that you think would be cool for a bush flight, please let me know. Maybe Australia, New Zealand, something like that. Or I mean, hey, if you really hate the idea, that's fine too. Let me know. Let me know what you dislike about it. Alright, so we scoot over here in our seat, grab our binoculars, and start to see that lake coming into view. As we get a little bit closer, we'll go ahead and slow down. I just wanted to get over here quickly so that while I want there to be a focus on the flight, I wanted to get on the ground as well, so. Let's see what we got. Going back off on the engine so we can slow down and see any viable landing areas. We're looking for mostly flat. Obviously no trees or vegetation. So the spot right off our nose doesn't look too bad. A spot right there, and another spot over there. It's a little bit smaller. I think this one right here looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and flip back around and we'll try and land there. Once we're on the ground, we'll set up camp and we'll try some fishing. Let's add some flaps here. Back off on our power. That's the really nice thing about this plane is it slows down real quick. Add another notch of flaps. You don't want to stall though. Flaps. still learning how to land these. We are down on the ground though, so that's a good start. I think what we'll do is we'll park it right up here. Set our parking brake. Let's jump back in. Let's shut it down. Deflate the doors, turn our heat off. Alright, everything's shutting down here. I'm going to jump out, I'm going to get camp set up, and then I will bring you guys back and show you what I've done. Alright guys, welcome back. Let's take you over to camp real quick. Unfortunately, the game is not perfect, so we do have some floating objects there. But if we come into the tent, we have our puppers there. We got our sleeping bag set up. Nice warm rug with our fire going. Our backpack is poking through there. Got some firewood cut. Got a fire started. Dinner prepped. Got a nice chair set up there. So let's head over to the water and see if we can't catch a fish. Alright, so we will jump into our tablet here. Scoot this over. Let's go ahead and make this vertical. Oops. And see what happens. Oh, bummer. Alright, let's see if we can't cast it out a little further here. There we go. Alright. Got one on. We're reeling her in. There it goes. Let's see, what are we going to catch? Alright. Got a sockeye salmon. Oh, and it's rare. That's cool. Let's see, what can we do with it? Alright, I think we'll have salmon for dinner. Let's put that reel out a little bit further. How far out can we go? 82 feet? Let's send it. Alright, we got a fish on. Let's reel it in. Let's see, can we make it go faster? No. I think there are some buttons that I can bind to get rid of this tablet just for a little bit more immersive feeling, but there we go, we got another one. So we got a 4.4 pound and a 5 pound one. We'll go ahead and keep that one as well. So let's head on over. I think I might have to, yep, okay. So we'll stop that and put the reel away, the rod and reel. We'll run back over here. Go ahead and cook this up. Alright. Look at that. Nice fire. Alright guys, I think it's time to turn in here. Go lay down. I'll see you guys in the morning. Alright guys, good morning. It is almost 9 a.m. here in Alaska. Kept our fire going all night. Stayed warm in the tent. We got a fire going in there as well. So I say let's go ahead and get camp cleaned up. And I'll meet you guys by the plane. Alright guys, as you can see we have camp all cleaned up. We're going to jump in the plane here. Get back off the ground. And I will send you guys off with that once we are going. So we'll go ahead and get it started up here. Start's on and start is off. Battery on. Let's go ahead and turn our heat on. Crank this up to hot because it is a cold morning. Alright guys, what I'm thinking is we'll just head straight out that way. Make sure we're good here. That's inflated. All of our systems are up and running. Go ahead and hit that de-ice. Alright. Let's get off the ground. Set our flaps to takeoff. And there we go. Just that easy getting off the ground in this plane. And I think what I'll do guys is I will leave you as we fly out over the water. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the first episode of Virtual Sightseer Backcountry.